Hey guys, I want to tell Sparkle a story because she's my child. Woo! And she's cleaning herself. I thought I should say it because I love Sparkle. She's a big part of my life. And she's like my baby, my child. So I thought I should tell her life story. I don't know if Sparkle was like born outside and taken in, or if this person had a cat that had kittens and Sparkle just so happened to be one of them. But what I do know is this old lady owned Sparkle, right? She had to go to a nursing home. I found out because I asked my mom when she remembered. She doesn't remember telling me this though. But she ended up telling me, oh, this old lady had to go to a nursing home and she would bring Sparkle, but for some reason there's double standards. When you go to a nursing home, you can bring a dog, but you can't bring a cat. I feel like people are catist. That's what I call it, catist. Like how people are like, okay, I don't want to compare it or downplay. Like when people are racist to people of a certain race, catist is like the same thing, but being mean to like cats because they're a cat. It's like, geez, everyone favors. Okay, I don't want to go on that rant, but cats need more credit. Dogs get all the credit. But anyways, so because Sparkle couldn't go there, she had to go to like this animal shelter. So she had to get given up to the animal shelter. So one day my mom's like, let's get a kitty cat. So we were all like, yeah. So we went there and Sparkle was there. At first there was no like connection. I wanted another cat, but then like as soon as I actually took a look at Sparkle, I was like, Sparkle, you are the one. I want you. I need you, oh baby, oh baby. My sister says that, so I kind of picked up on it. But anyways, so we wanted to find out what we wanted to name her. Nothing inspired my name for her. Nothing really got me thinking. My mom and Lily, Lily's my sister, they were like, what should we name her? And I said Sparkle. Like, it just came out. I didn't think of it. It just came out of my mouth. And it stuck. And my mom got her. She was originally my mom's cat. And Sparkle was really unhappy with being at my mom's house. My sister would bother her a lot. So my child is going to eat and drink her food. Now, me and Lily were really young, so as you can imagine, a child and a cat in the same room, petting them backwards, pulling their tail, wanting to like touch them with stuff, not inappropriately, but like just want to genuinely play. And cats are more of like an independent thing. Now my sister has a thing where she wants to pick up cats and put them on her shoulder and bend over so like they would crawl around her back and like, you know, I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing it to a cat, but my sister was a lot younger. She still has that picking up cats thing, but she doesn't go crazy. But as you can tell, for a cat, Sparkle was very unhappy, so she would always hide under my mom's bed. She hated children because of my sister. She would hide under my mom's bed. The only person she liked was my mom, because she was an adult. So since my mom was an adult, Sparkle trusted her. So Sparkle would always hide under the bed and only come out to eat, drink, pee, and poop. And go straight under the bed and come out when she knows Lily and me are asleep. My mom had Sparkle for a year. But when that year passed, my dad was like, oh, if you have good behavior and stuff like that for a month, because like I was a bad child back then, I can get a cat, because I made it obvious I want a cat. So I did what I did, and I was going to get this gray kitten, but I didn't, which the gray kitten, it's kind of a long story. And I'm done with my Sparkle life story. I'll get into it, but for right now, I'm just going to talk about my baby. But anyways, I told my mom about the situation. Mom was like, oh, you can have Sparkle, because my mom thought since I was familiar with Sparkle, she was familiar with me, then it would make more sense for Sparkle. So I was like, yeah, and the reason why I was so quick to say yes is because, first of all, I love her. Second of all, I can just tell how unhappy Sparkle was. Even at just the sight of me and Lily, she would hiss and, like, scurry away. So I was like, yes. And I always spend, like, one weekend at my mom's, and I go there Friday, leave Sunday, yeah. Sunday comes around. The first thing I did when I woke up was look at Sparkle. She was hiding behind blinds. She always hides everywhere. As soon as she saw me, instead of hissing and scurrying away, she gave me this look, and she was like, meow. And, like, it made me feel like she had hope. Like, she knew what was going to happen and was, like, relieved in a way. I don't know how to explain it, but we got a little cat carrier, but we didn't have a carrier, so it was like a cardboard box, and I felt bad. I wanted to get, like, her a fluffy princess one because she's my baby and I want to pamper her. But we got her into a cardboard carrier and brought her home. I get very emotional when it comes to Sparkle because she means the world to me. But we brought her home. The first thing she did was run and hide behind that table. Not this table, but there's a table between these two couches. See, these two couches. Yeah. And I remember at nighttime she was comfortable to come out. She goes into the kitchen to start exploring, right? This has a reflection. Hello, hello. So she was standing, she walked towards it, backed up, walked towards it because she thought it was another cat. She was like, whoop, whoop. It was so funny. I wish I got it on camera, but I didn't. Then she hid under that table. Right there, that table. She was a diva. She was very sassy at first. She was still on edge, and also because I was really young. And then after that, I kind of matured a little bit, and actually a lot, because like me and Lily would always take long sticks and touch her with it, like not anything crazy, just like pet, 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 like touch her with it to see how she reacts, and she hates it. I matured, stopped doing that. Sparkle became a lot sweeter to me. She like started being more chill around me because I stopped doing that and matured and got older. But whenever a baby comes to the house, she'll like scratch and bite them because she doesn't like children because of my sister. Sparkle would be on and off with me. She'll be lovey-dovey, but she won't want me to go crazy with her. Like, not go crazy as in, like, okay. Like, I always want Sparkle to be on my bed and pet her every single day all the time. But she'll only like me in small bursts. So she kind of started warming up to me. And ever since last year, me and Sparkle became even more close. Because, this is why I love Sparkle and get emotional. Last year, I was like late 2019, early 2020. I was going through a very toxic relationship. I didn't realize that person was toxic. But whenever they would come over, they would pick up Sparkle, love her. And Sparkle at this point was like not really making a big deal out of being picked up. As long as you looked older, she was okay with being picked up. As long as it wasn't in a painful way, if you just pick her up in a regular way. But she would scream and whenever she would lay next to Sparkle, if she moved a little bit, Sparkle would growl. Like Sparkle would like go crazy, not like that person, and I knew Sparkle didn't like them because they looked older. Sparkle being picked up by someone that looks older isn't too much, like she doesn't really care. So the fact that she had a reaction and that was bad, like, rah! So it was like Sparkle telling me, they're toxic, I don't like them, I sense negative energy from this person. Whenever me and that person would cuddle and lay down and Sparkle would be near, or they would just be laying next to each other, like them and Sparkle, if she twitched or moved a little bit, Sparkle would growl. And the thing is, Sparkle, whenever Sparkle was around, Sparkle would like secretly, it would look like Sparkle sleeping, but like she had like one eye kind of open, like she was trying to sneakily like spy on that person. It's like she always had a keen eye on them. She did not like them at all. And I'm very appreciative that Sparkle conveyed this because Sparkle gave me the courage to get out of that. Well, she's one of the things that gave me courage. So Sparkle conveyed really well that I was in a toxic relationship. So whenever that person would hurt me, I would tell them how I feel, and it would just get worse and worse. And Sparkle conveying that she didn't like that person, Sparkle was like a really big reason too. It's not just like a little background reason, it's a true in front reason, because Sparkle conveying that she didn't like that person really gave me the courage to like break out of that toxic relationship. And I tried to be on good terms. Good terms didn't work out, so I got the courage to get out of that as well because of Sparkle. Sparkle helped me get out of that toxic relationship, and she hates me for talking about it. But Sparkle, I'm showing the world how much I love you. God! But anyway, Sparkle hates me, but she also loves me. Yeah, love-hate. We have got a love-hate relationship, but Sparkle helped me get out of that, and Sparkle always shows me love and sometimes hates me and walks away, but me and Sparkle are closer than ever because she helped me get out of that. And like when I took Sparkle's advice, me and Sparkle got closer. Like she would lay on top of me after I got out of that. Sparkle would lay on top of me, lay on my bed a lot, and Sparkle was just the best cat ever. So that's Sparkle's life story, and she doesn't love me anymore because I told it. Sparkle, I love you. Meow. The fuck was that? It was me being weird. Brandy! I thought of making a Brandy life story thing, but to be honest, I kind of don't want to do Brandy's because it kind of is like a bit more matched up with my personal life a little bit, so it's kind of a bit more difficult. But hey, I want to be real with you guys. I just want to be able to tell my 2 children's life stories on here because they mean the world to me, and I just want to be able to tell their life stories and how they are because I love them, and I love to talk about stuff I love on my accounts to express myself. So this is kind of a way to express myself. So yeah. So Brandy is sleeping, kind of awake, but bleh. Brandy likes to lay like that, and it's the fucking cutest thing in the world. When I was little, growing up, my grandmother, my dad's mom, had a cat named Brandy. She had 2 cats, Smokey and Brandy. Smokey was very mean, would always hide a lot, and just did not like people, to say the least. But Brandy's like very cheerful, playful, usually running around, but right now was just laying down and not laying down, just chilling. But Brandy's usually, Brandy's usually, oh my god, shut the fuck up, Pico. No one fucking cares. I'm mad at Pico. I don't want to talk about it. So, Brandy was my grandmother's cat and would always like to play around, and Smokey was just, but Smokey passed away due to old age. Rest in peace, Smokey. Even though you weren't a big fan of us humans, I love cats, and just rest in peace. I love you, Smokey. And after that, last year on Father's Day. Oh shit! Sparkle's never been in my dad's room. Oh shit! I'm stalling now, but that's never happened to me before. Holy shit. But last year on Father's Day, that grandmother passed away. And it's very difficult to get into. Now, I want to be able to open up to you guys. Even though it said natural causes, she had diabetes and a lot of other health issues. And her house was cluttered because she liked to buy stuff and just lay it around the floor. So it was like waist, chest, deep, high. Now you'll understand why I'm getting into it later. Because like Brandy was in a cage and you'd be like, why would she be in a cage for so long? Now, it was because of the unhealthy lifestyle. Now, Brandy has been through a lot here this past year. So, as I said, my grandmother, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, she would eat a lot of junk food and, like, have, like, her house, like, was very cluttery. And apparently a week before she passed, Brandy was in a cage, and on top of the cage and around it was all of that junk. And Brandy was just scared shitless, left with, like, no food and stuff like that. My poor baby. Oh, I know. But Brandy was very traumatized, as anyone being in a cage for that long with cluttery stuff around it would, with, like, no food and anything like that. So after Grandma passed, that's why I need to explain it. Because that's how we found Brandy. Now, after she passed, we had to, like, clean out her house, and we couldn't find Brandy. We thought, oh, she probably ran away. But found her in a cage. So after Brandy was stuck like that, Grandma's friend took her in to acclimate her and get her somewhat back on track because Brandy's eyes were like saucers and she was scared. But that friend also had big dogs, and cats and dogs do not mix, so that was kind of a dumb idea. But hey, she was doing a good deed, so but my dad was like, you know what, yeah, let's take Brandy in. So we took Brandy in. I don't want to get too much into that, but I'm a lot like my grandmother because I eat a lot of junk food. I'm kind of cluttery. It's hard to let go of, like, a lot of cool stuff I have. And I got some of her stuff after she passed, and it's hard to let go of that stuff. And Brandy is one of the stuff we got from her. So we're taking care of Brandy. And so, as you can tell, Brandy's been through a lot. That's why I said I don't want to get, like, when I first got Brandy, I was like, I don't want to get into why Brandy's here. Just know that we're saving Brandy, taking her. That's why I was, like, weird about it and didn't want to talk about it. But just know that Brandy's doing a lot better. sort of. Sparkle's bullying her, I guess. But yeah, that happened. So after we took Brandy in, Sparkle doesn't like other cats. Now when Sparkle was at my mom's house for the first beginning, my mom wanted to get Sparkle a friend, and it looked like Sparkle but skinnier, and her name was Tinkerbell. Sparkle and Tinkerbell got into a big fight because Sparkle don't like other cats. So they returned Tinkerbell, kept Sparkle, and I got Sparkle. So that's how we knew Sparkle doesn't like other cats. So that's how we kind of expected Sparkle to not be nice to Brandy. But Brandy came in. Sparkle, of course, hissed and was growling and wasn't very nice, to say the least. And I even talked to Sparkle multiple times, told Sparkle all the stuff I'm telling you guys. After all of that happened and went down, Sparkle still fights with Brandy to this day. We even had Sparkle in the back room, Brandy in the house. We try to, like, have them smell each other through the door while eating. Sparkle is still not very good with Brandy. Nothing worked, so my dad was just, fuck it, let's just have them beef it out. So now they're sharing the same house. No one's trapped in any room, so they're both here, and Sparkle doesn't like Brandy. There was one point in time, like a week ago, where Sparkle was actually being good for a few days, not being mean to Brandy, and it let Brandy's guard down, because Brandy actually is, like, very scared of Sparkle, because of how she gets treated by Sparkle. Brandy let her guard down since Sparkle was being good for the past 2 days. So she wanted to ambush Sparkle, but then Sparkle screamed. Brandy's like, oh shit, that's a bad idea. So they kind of got into a fight, but, like, Brandy was trying to run away without passing Sparkle, so, like, she jumped on everything and just whoosh. It was so funny. I wish I got it on camera, but my dumbass never gets shit on camera. But hey, that's my life. So yeah, that happened. Sparkle and Brandy always get into fights. I try to tell Sparkle, Brandy's been through enough already, so the fact that Brandy gets taunted by Sparkle is just terrible. It's a lot better than being in a cage. At the same time, I don't know why Brandy was in a cage. I don't understand that part. That's something I'll have to talk to my dad about, but I know at heart my grandmother would never do it out of pure cruelty. Maybe Brandy did something bad and it was like a punishment and then forgot to take her out. I don't know. Just know it wasn't out of cruelty. But Brandy's a lot happier now and we love her. Brandy chose my dad though and Sparkle chose me, so yeah. Okay, so now that I got Brandy and Sparkle, my fur babies, life stories out there because I love them and I wanted to share that with you guys. Now it's time for the gray kitten story, which is actually a really long story. I still think about that kitten to this day. So, as you know, if there's a cat that's like a newborn or a kitten, they have a socialization window where they're able to be like, yeah, humans. But if they're not introduced to humans early in life, they're just going to see us as big predators that are like, rawr, I'm a scary monster, I'm going to eat your butt. Oh no, please don't eat her butt. So like, not like that, but you know what I mean. Just, they see us as like predators. So like, they'll get scared and like feral cats run away, don't like people, they only like food, and yeah. And my dad's ex-girlfriend, they were dating at the time. At her mom's house, there was a whole bunch of stray cats in the neighborhood, but there was a couple of cats that stayed. This one cat named Lucy, a tortoiseshell cat, she was a tortoiseshell cat. This one fluffy cat, it was a fluffy black cat named Midnight. And a cat that looks like Brandy, but it isn't Brandy. It was another cat, but it was like the same breed and looked like Brandy's freaking twin, basically. And the thing is, since they were strays, they would have babies in like hiding spots and they would barely be introduced to humans. And the thing is with Lucy, in every single litter she would have an orange cat, and I would fall in love with the orange cat every single time. But they would always be scared of me the most. But that's besides the point. Now with Midnight, now the one that looked like Brandy was a boy, but with Midnight, apparently, according to everyone in that household, Midnight's mean, Midnight's bad, she'll scratch you, stay away from her. But for some reason, Midnight fucking loved me. She would always rub up against me, I would feed her, I would feed all of them, because I'm like a huge cat person, as you all know. And she would be very loving towards me. I've never seen a bad side of her at all. And I was like, sheesh, I don't know what I did, but yeah, and this is important. So, Midnight had a litter of 3 behind a washing machine in the garage. And it was a gray kitten and 2 black kittens, I think. Something like that. And they were getting old enough to walk. I think they were like 3-4 weeks old. They were getting old enough to be able to explore. There was this one night. I was playing with Lucy, right? I was petting her. And I see Lucy look at me, but I thought she was looking at me, but like she was like looking like past me, and I was like, what's she looking at? I looked and I see a bundle of kittens trying to get out from underneath, not underneath, like, but from out, because in between the wall and the washing machine there was like a little gap, so they were like getting out and stuff. And Lucy was like hissing. She was like, who the hell are you? I don't remember having babies back there. You're not my children. She was like confused and like threatened by it. And I saw those kittens, and at first I was like, I thought they could be Lucy's, but how she's reacting, they're not her children, so they must be Midnight's or something. So after that, I was like, they're probably Midnight's, but Midnight wasn't there at the moment. But I was trying to pet them, be like, hi. I was trying to be like, hi. And they were like hissing, and they were so scared that they were spitting while they were hissing. Daddy dear, shut up. Anyways, so they were hissing, they were scared, like when they make that snapping noise and they do the double hiss, they were backing up. But Midnight, coincidentally, showed up at that time. She showed up at that time, and when they saw their mother, they calmed down. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's most definitely their mom. And she calmed down the babies, so they were still scared of me and threatened by me, and Midnight taught her kittens how to love me and be socialized with humans, because all Midnight did, she looked at her kittens, looked at me, rubbed up against me in front of them, and that was a signal for her kittens that I'm a good person, I'm not going to hurt them. So they came out, and they were still a bit iffy, but they were like starting to try to rub up against me and play with me, and it was amazing. And that's when I knew I was accepted by Midnight. So, but me and that gray kitten, like I said, 2 blacks, 1 gray, me and that gray kitten became really close. And that was around that time my dad was like, if you have good behavior, you can get a cat. I wanted that gray cat. But after I told my mom the situation, she was like, Sparkle. At first I wanted to get both the gray cat and Sparkle, but as you know, the Tinkerbell incident and with Sparkle and Brandy, they were like, no, Sparkle doesn't like other cats, so I wouldn't recommend it. So I got Sparkle, and I'm happy with Sparkle. But I've never seen that gray kitten ever again. The last memory I have is laying on a pile of towels and laundry with it and just cuddling with it. And I haven't seen that thing since, and I still think about that kitten to this day, and Midnight, Lucy, and all of them. I hope they're okay. But yeah, that happened.